more money. That's like a case by case scenario, but they'll figure something out.
Okay. So this is this is one way that people actually make a lot of money in real estate, and one way I've seen it, and it's using these loans to leverage their investments to get a way higher return. Because in the example I just said, if you put $450,000 down to buy a $3 million property, and it cash flows or it breaks even, let's say it just breaks even and you're not making anything in cash, but now that property goes up 5% in the next year, right? That 5% is how much of 3 million? That would be what? $150,000.
Yep.
So in 1 year you made $150,000, but you only put $450,000 down. So even though it's 5% of the 3 million, you're actually making 150 of 450.
Yep.
So that's what, 33% return instead of 5%. So you're making a way higher return on your actual cash. That's your cash on cash return.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people forget about that with real estate, that it's really not about how much the property itself went up. It's about how much more money you're making.
Yeah.
I mean, like in simpler terms, like let's say you bought a house for 100,000, they came in with 20% down. So $20,000 down, and the property went up to 150,000, which isn't that big of a swing, especially looking in the last few years. You know, you just went from putting down 20, now you have 50,000 in equity. So you more than
what you even put in.
You more than double your money.
Yeah.
Using
that's
leverage.
Ridiculous. And that's happening a lot nowadays.
Definitely.
Especially with prices just going up. Yeah. So that's the reason that the most millionaires are made in real estate.
Yeah.
That's the reason for that.
Yeah, but I really think the best way to do it is with leverage, because the thing is, like, let's say you would have bought that $100,000 property in cash, it would have to go up to $200,000 for you to have doubled your money.
For you to make the same return percentage wise.
Yeah, percentage wise. Yeah.
Okay. The other thing is, though, in times where the market crashes, that's where you can kind of get fucked in a way, right? Because you can essentially get into a property. Let's say you use a conventional loan and you only put 5% down, right, on a property that's $100K, right? So you put $5,000 down, purchase this $100,000 property, and now let's say the market just crashes by 20%.
Yep.
So now that property is worth $80,000, and you owe more than the equity that you have in that property, right? Because now you owe $95,000 and the property is worth $80,000.
Right. No, like I see where you're going with that. But the thing is, I really think even in times like, let's say the real estate market does crash, I still think you're better off being levered than not, because if not, you're losing your own cash.
Yeah.
I rather lose the bank's cash, I mean, not saying that I'm going to default on it, but I think you'll be good regardless, if you could hold on to it for a few years. Like the average recession lasts like a year or something. I think it's 18 months. I can't remember what the exact date is. I mean, you just got to be able to weather the storm and get through it. I mean, hopefully you have it rented, or hopefully you have the same job. But also, I mean, if people bought the property a couple of years ago with these low rates at 3% or something, I mean, they're still probably, their payment's probably cheaper than it would be even at that lower value with the higher new interest rates.
Okay, I could see that. 100%. And as long as you could weather the storm, it's a long-term game, right? Everything that happens in the short term is insignificant, right? You can essentially lose money in the short term. As long as you can weather the storm, hold on to these properties, that's why the most important thing is the cash flow, right?
Yeah.
You're cash flowing. You don't have to worry about property decreasing in value or not. Yep. You can hold it on for as long as you want. And in the long term, it's going to go up.
It's actually, I think that's some benefits of real estate, is that like there's nowhere you could go and see like the real value of the property. Yeah. Like when you log in, like let's say it's like stocks, you log into E-Trade.
Yeah.
You see that you had $10,000 in Apple, now you only have 7,000. It makes it a lot easier to just click the button and put sell.
Yeah.
To sell real estate,
it's a lot harder. It's less liquid.
Yeah, you got to call a realtor, you got to list it. Maybe it sells, maybe it doesn't. You could be trying to sell it for 6 months.
Yeah. One thing I